One of my favorites, Tom Petty, dedicated that song, Won't Back Down, to Jon Scott, a record promoter. Not just a record promoter, he really discovered Tom Petty. Jon Scott joins me now from California. And Jon, you were such close friends with Tom Petty. And the amazing story that the two of you connected. Take us back to the 70s. You were in record promotions and you worked for ABC Records at the time. Tell us how you discovered Tom.
Yes, I was working for ABC Records. Actually, it was my third day on the job. Tom, I think, dedicated that song to me because he knew I never backed down because the label was about to drop his band and put him in the trash, basically. And that night, September 25th, the last date of his concert tour, I was doing an interview on Sirius XM, Channel 31, Tom Petty Radio. And pretty much telling the story of what happened. And Tom's wife, Dana, later told me that they were in the limo coming to the Hollywood Bowl, and Tom listened to my interview and turned to her and said, that's exactly the way it happened, what Jon just said. And unbeknownst to me, a little later that night, unbeknownst to everybody, I guess, he dedicated that song to me for what I did in the 70s for him. He never really forgot. And I think that was a gift that Tom left me.
It really was, and it was such a different business back then. The goal was to get his songs played on the radio. You heard something special. Again, you said they were about to drop him, but you were a force to be reckoned with. You wouldn't back down, going from radio station to radio station. And then I thought, okay, Tom Petty's going to welcome Jon with open arms, but not so. He kind of stereotyped and thought, oh, you're just one of those record promoters. But he finally came around, and you two became very close.
I understood exactly, why he was upset with me the first night, because he had been beaten down by the record company for 8 months, and he didn't want to hear anything from anybody from the record company. But eventually, we did. Second meeting changed quite a bit because I told him that night. I asked him if he'd ever heard his record on the radio in Los Angeles. He said no. And I said, well, you're about to hear it. Monday morning, he went, right, sure. And then I turned to him and said, I'm going to break your career, Tom. How's that? And the whole band started laughing. And then right as I'm going out, I said, hey, Tom, my name is Jon Scott. When you hear your record on the radio, you're never going to forget who I am. And again, quite a bit of laughter, but it didn't bother me. Because
I got the chills. I got the chills when you said that. We all know what a fantastic artist he is. How do you describe him as a person and as a friend?
Oh my gosh, he was so funny. He was a very funny guy, and he was humble, and he was a gentle person. He was a great man. I would say he was a songwriting genius as well, and he was just one of a kind, and I don't think there will ever be another Tom Petty in the Heartbreakers in our generation. But he was a very, very cool guy to hang out with.
I think you're right. There'll never be another, and we're so glad that you were able to hear that genius and to bring those songs to us, and they will never be forgotten. We appreciate you, Jon, so much. Thank you. I know it's emotional for you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And be sure to catch How It Really Happened with Hill Harper tonight, 9 Eastern and Pacific. For more about Tom Petty's life and career.